Welcome to the Business Finishing School Podcast. Stop the insanity, eliminate the chaos, bring simplicity, probability, and leverage as operating values into your business and personal life so you can do more, earn more, and improve your relationships. This is Business Growth Simplified. Here's your host, Business Finishing School founder, Rick Sapio.
Hello, everyone. This is Rick Sapio for another podcast for Business Finishing School. And this is in the category of mindset. I'm going to talk about module 41 of the 48 modules that we have in the BFS program. And module 41 is the art of the level head. And I can't think of a time in my life where if you looked out into the world, you didn't see a lot of craziness. But unfortunately, as you're listening to this particular podcast, there's even more craziness than any point in time, meaning the craziness is amping up even more. And the way to navigate the craziness, in my opinion, is to keep a level head no matter what's going on. And I had a therapist who told me several years ago, she said, listen, you don't have to prove anything to the world. You just have to live your life, be on purpose, honor your values, love the people close to you. And when you keep proving to the world that you can get something done or that you want to persuade them to a certain point of view, she said, the way to inspire other people is to live an inspiring life. And I thought that was pretty compelling. And that helped me keep more of a level head no matter what was going on. But I have to admit that I've been tested with recent events. And one way that I focus on keeping a level head, or the art of the level head, is FGA versus FSR. Let's start with FSR. FSR stands for fear, scarcity, and resentment. And a lot of people seem to be focused on that right now, as opposed to FGA, faith, gratitude, and abundance. And in our module on the art of the level head, there's a quote from a woman named Melody Beattie. It says, gratitude unlocks the fullness of life. It turns denial into acceptance, chaos into order, confusion into clarity. It can turn a meal into a feast, a house into a home, and a stranger into a friend. And I feel like too much today, the focus is on fear, scarcity, and resentment versus faith, gratitude, and abundance. But there's a lot coming at us at all time. You know, we could spend decades building something meaningful, and unfortunately, we can blow it all up in a matter of minutes if we make one bad decision because we didn't have a level head. And I honestly believe, as I look over my life and I think about points in my life where things could have gone really bad, and I just took a step back and I realized, you know what, maybe that person on the other side is not such a bad person. Maybe they're just having a hard day. Maybe they weren't loved as a child. I don't know. But for whatever reason, there's been critical points in my life where I chose to have gratitude for the other person on the other side who's against me. And it made things better. And I think that we don't spend enough time stopping the insanity of life, calming down, taking a moment to ourselves, flushing the cell phone down the toilet, whatever you have to do to just get free of all the nonsense and focus on gratefulness. In the art of the level head, in order to have a level head in all situations, you must be able to take on other perspectives. If you only see the world from your own perspective and you don't take on someone else's perspective, there's no way that, well, let me back up and say, there's not no way, but it's much harder to have the three values that we promulgate throughout this program, which is simplicity, probability, and leverage. In my view, it helps to have a more fulfilling life if you have simplicity, probability, and leverage as your operating values. And one way that adds fuel to those three words, one way that you can implement that adds fuel to those, is to overlay it all with gratitude. So gratitude is absolutely, positively the key fuel igniter for fulfillment in life and the art of the level head. So, what habits and rituals do you partake in on a daily basis to help you have more centeredness, more gratitude, and more of a level head? Do you play a musical instrument? Do you meditate? Do you pray? If you're not doing those things, cut off from all other interactions or interferences or distractions, it's going to be hard to figure out how you can get to a level head in all situations. The other thing is, have you revisited your values and cut off the values that aren't working for you and added aspirational values that you aspire to be like? One of the things that we've done inside of our family is the family placemat. And on the family placemat are Ben Franklin's 13 virtues. And if you recall the story, Ben Franklin focused on those 13 virtues one at a time until he mastered it as a young man. Once he mastered a virtue, he went to the next virtue and he focused on that until he mastered it. Some of them took him weeks, some took months, but it's kind of like that. Once you have your list of values, you can then focus on one value at a time and see what changes you're making in your life to get that value locked and loaded and on the ground and executing for you, and then move to the next value. So if you haven't done that, then I feel you're not going to have a level head in all situations because you're not sure what foundation you're on. Are you on a foundation that's changing? So you're making decisions from a foundation that's movable? Or are you on a rock solid foundation? If you're on a rock solid foundation with solid values based in gratitude, using the 3 operating values of simplicity, probability, and leverage, it would be hard to shake you. And therefore, you would be operating from the perspective of a level head in all situations. And I know it's hard to believe and hard to embrace at times, but the most successful people in the world are centered on all of this. They have a level head in all situations, no matter who they're being attacked by. Think of people, famous people, and how often they're attacked and how they handle it. And we get to watch them on media and go, I can't believe they said that. But could you imagine the thousands or millions of barbs that they're taking on a weekly basis? Would you have a level head in that situation? They got to that point in life because they understand this mindset. They understand how to have a level head no matter what's going on. So that is your lesson for the month in the mindset category of Business Finishing School. I hope you got value out of this. This is Rick Sapio signing off.
Thank you for tuning in to the Business Finishing School podcast, where we teach you business growth simplified. For more information on Business Finishing School or their Business Growth Summit event, visit businessfinishingschool.com.